First of all, Bellavista and Petra belongs to a wine group that is called Terra Moretti, family owned. Okay, so we have 3 estates in Tuscany, 1 in Sardinia, and 2 in Franciacorta, Lombardy. Well, as you can see, we're actually not too far from Milano. So on the left, you can see Milano, the city center. On the right, you have Garda Lake, and just a few kilometers further, you can have Verona. So it's really in the middle, in between Verona and Milano. Lombardy, it's apart from Franciacorta, actually, that is the main denomination, and Valtellina is not really a full, very famous wine region. So Franciacorta really made this region famous for winemaking. So it's not like Veneto or Piedmont, but it's in between these two. The Moretti family is there since ever. So they've been there since many centuries. So they're very autochthonous as a family. Yeah, on the right in this picture you have Vittorio Moretti, who basically is the founder of Franciacorta. We go back to 1977, okay, so 44 years ago. There was this hill overlooking the Iseo Lake. The hill was called Bellavista, and he actually purchased that hill to build up his family house, his own family house. Oh, cool. And then he decided to basically to plant some vineyard, to start making sparkling wine. It was 77, so as I said, it was making some trips in Champagne, visiting Roederer, visiting Bollager. It was very fascinating. It got fascinating from especially Roederer estate and the Marmonnier press. So he bought a Marmonnier press and he just, got it back to Franciacorta. And then together with Mattia Vezzola, they decided the philosophy, the direction that Bellavista had to take. In 77, there was already there, yeah, that's the Bellavista hill. As you can see, the vineyards as well are on the top and as well on the side. So together with Mattia Vezzola, the history of Bellavista began. So Vittorio Moretti and Mattia Vezzola, since 1981, to be precise, they are together in this adventure, and now it's more than 10 years as well. The Francesca Moretti, so his second daughter, joined the family business. Right. Yeah. So yeah, Francesca is as well a winemaker. So she's participating, in tasting the cuvée, making the different wines.
I know she's been involved with the estate since the 90s as well. I think like the mid 90s. So, yeah.
Well, she is born there. She was born there. Wow. So I think she's been involved since she were a kid. I think having a winery as a playground is quite of a privilege. So
yeah, I wasn't
yeah, so I think you develop some skills, and you develop a palate that like nobody else, always been there. You're tasting all the cuvée coming from all the different plots. So I think it's been more than a decade.
Yeah, for sure.
But that is one of our most beautiful vineyard. It says Chardonnay. So let's say that in Franciacorta, the wine are basically made with 3 different grapes. Chardonnay, most of the vines are Chardonnay based, Pinot Noir and Pinot Blanc. Okay. Pinot Blanc is the least predator all around. Recently, there is a 4th grape that is being testing. We're doing some experiment. It's an ancient and local grape that is called Herba Mat. We don't know yet if we're going to do a wine 100% Herba Mat, but that's not even a point. It's just a test. to understand, and to study how that old grape is developing. Okay, but all our wines are mainly produced with a blend of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir.
So let's back up a second too, because just the name of the appellation is very unique, Franciacorta. What is that name? Because I think there's some historic meaning of that name. It's a very unique name.
Well, there are different history that are connected with the name. First of all, we have to mention that when you say Franciacorta, you are not only talking about a specific area of production, so the name of the region. You're talking about the name of the wine, and as well the method of production. So similar to Champagne, to make it easy. Right. Okay. So Franciacorta's got, as I said before, a different story. So there is the one that say Franciacorta, that means like Francia, Franche, Corta, Curta. Okay, so this area was made by different plot. Okay, that were cultivating, they were peasants, so based on agricultural. And they were belonging to, but they were tied to the church. Since they were producing farming, so they were farming, there were no need to pay taxes. Okay, so that's why. Okay. And as well, since this place was made by peasant, was not rich in the medieval time, so there's a local saying that Franciacorta means a court de franc, that means short of money.
Short of money, okay.
Yeah. Then there is another one, so the third version, that one of the French king was actually paying visit often to this part of the world, and he was so in love with this place because it reminded him of some specific part of France. So basically he named the place like Petit France, Piccola Francia, but then was translated badly, as we always do in Italy. We don't know how to translate.
We're worse in America, so don't worry.
Okay, so the name was Franciacorta instead of Franciapiccola. But anyway, these three stories, but the first one is the most common, to be honest.
Gotcha. And just for those who are tuning in, Franciacorta is now respected as the top quality sparkling wine production region within Italy.
Definitely Franciacorta is standing up for its particular style. We have to mention as well Oltre Papavese, we have to mention Alta Langa, okay, and then we have to mention as well Trento DOC. So these four are really the top of the let's say metodo classico production that you can get from Italy. Of course, Franciacorta, with this particular style, with this particular soil, it's standing up. Okay, so why I'm saying this? Because basically you have an amphitheater. Okay, you have an amphitheater with the south border with the Monte Orfano. Okay, then there are some other hills. On the north you have Iseo Lake and the Valcamonica Mountains. So you have some natural fences that really making this amphitheater quite Mediterranean style. In fact, you can find olive trees all around Franciacorta.
Oh, cool.
Okay, it's morenic, so full of sand and silt. Okay, there's not much the production, to be honest. We are talking about average 17 to 18 millions bottle. That if you talk about the 700 million of Prosecco and the 300 million of Champagne, it's really a tiny production. So it's a niche product for connoisseur people, for people that are curious to do an upgrade into the sparkling wine category. It's not a mass market product. Right. Of course, in Italy it's more famous than abroad. We're doing our best to make people discovering this Italian gem. Right. And it's quite different from the Champagne in terms of tasting. We said that the soil is full of sand and silt, while Champagne is full of chalk. Right. Okay, when we talk about phenolic maturation and acidity is the other way around, so they are on the opposite. So in Champagne they get a good phenolic maturation and a very beautiful acidity. In Franciacorta is the other way around. So our phenolic maturation, it's incredible, while the acidity is good. It's standing up, but it's not like in Champagne. So this is giving us the possibility to be very pleasant on the palate, to go in the market most of the time with the very same harvest, apart if something it's getting difficult during an harvest. But most of the time, 95% of the wine is really related to the very same harvest. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and then the wine are present. They have this elegant finish, this mouth-filling sensation, and it's really enjoyable. You go one after the other. It's really drinkable.
Well, I want to ask you about something specific, because this is what separates it a bit in my mind from Champagne or Prosecco or other sparkling wines. Is there's a lot of use of oak aging, which is unique.
Well, those are pièces. We have 1,700 pièces, so 228 liters. Average age of these barrels, it's roughly 20 to 22 years old. Okay, so the passage in wood for us is important. It's 30 to 35% average for each of the cuvée. It's important because it gives the wine the time to generate some immunitary system, towards the oxygen, and to be able to last much longer.
Right.
Yeah, so it's really a signature of Bellavista style. So 100% of the grape comes from own vineyard.
Okay, so all estate.
Okay, yeah, and 35% of the cuvée goes in wood, and it's still a family-owned winery. So this is, very simple as it is.
No, definitely top of the top. I mean, the wines are really spectacular. I want to mention, we should speak about, because we still need to switch gears and head down to Tuscany and speak about Petra, but I want to show just a few of the bottles here quickly. So we have the
sorry David, sorry to interrupt. Do you have the map of the different terroirs that you can find, the colored one? Because I think it's important for our fellows here to yeah, that's the one. Thank you very much. Perfect. So basically, as you can see here, you have different color. Each one of this color identified a specific origin of a soil. So we have 6 different color. One is related to fine deposit, the other one to fluviogasial, distal colluvial, deep moraine, terrace colluvial, and fine moraine. So 6 of them, generating with the grapes some specific taste. So that's why we don't have 100% of our 200 hectares in the very same area, but we need to spread around. So we have 200 hectares divided in 147 plots, and this means 147 different wines.
Wow.
Yeah, and actually, thanks for using the map, this sentence is helping me to introduce the wine that you were showing before, so Alma Grande Cuvée, because Alma Grande Cuvée is really the best expression that we can offer from the entire terroir of Franciacorta, being a cuvée of 70 to 80 different wines.
Wow.
So it's a blend, it's a cuvée that is every year is made with 80 different plots.
Right.
Okay.
80 different wines, essentially, that then you blend together.
Correct. Yes.
Extremely difficult,
Yeah, absolutely. It's a brut, as we can see. It's a wine made with mostly Chardonnay. Let's say 80% is Chardonnay, 19% is Pinot Noir, and then there is 1% of Pinot Blanc. This 1% of Pinot Blanc is coming from a 35 years old vineyard. So we are very, attached to it. Of course, it doesn't change the taste of the profile of the wine because it's just 1%, but it's important, as a matter of heritage and tradition.
Exactly. So I want to speak about the rosé. The rosé is spectacular. A vintage rosé.
Yeah, the rosé is quite unique. We are famous for producing rosé. We have to say that rosé, as always, it's the most difficult wine for a sparkling producer to do. It's a blend of, again, mostly Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. We are around 55–60% Chardonnay, and the rest is Pinot Noir. It's made with maceration on the skin of the Pinot Noir, so there's no red wine in the Liqueur d'Expédition, okay? So the color is very pale, onion style, quite light. You have the structure, the body coming from the Pinot Noir, and the nuances, the elegance arriving from the Chardonnay. This is really a wine that can last for a long time. Usually we go in the market after at least 48 months, so 4 years sur lit, okay? And then a minimum of 3 to 6 months in the bottle before being released. So this is a wine that is capable to handle, honestly, any different kind of food, from appetizer to pasta to many different kind of fish. Exactly. So it's a multitasking wine.
Very food friendly, and this, along with the Scala, the vintage brut, are very age worthy. You could easily keep these 5–10 years, even longer. I've had
even longer. Yes,
and they really
absolutely
age well. They're beautiful wines. Yeah,
this is our vintage brut, and it's again mainly Chardonnay, 25% Pinot Noir. It's a wine that is dedicated to our partnership with the Teatro alla Scala. That it's easy to make the parallelism between Teatro alla Scala and Bellavista, because we are looking so much for the detail, like an artist in the theater. We are very focused on the detail. We are very focused on finding an harmony. Of course, at the theater, the harmony is on the stage. For us, the harmony is in the glass. Right. But that's the same pursuit. We are doing basically we are acting with the same approach, and it's actually a wine that is getting very famous for Bellavista, not only for the partnership we have with Teatro alla Scala, but for the profile of the wine. Right. Very long finish with a super nice texture. Again, super food friendly.
Yeah, the whole lineup is really stellar. So if for those who aren't familiar with the full lineup, I definitely encourage you to go out there and discover the full range. Start with the Alma. The Cuvée is spectacular, but then, like you said, the Rosé for a meal, or the Scala vintage. There's really a great portfolio.
Well, my suggestion is have fun and do blind tasting with some sparkling wine that you love, and you'll be very surprised.
Exactly. I mean, to me, they hold up to champagne any day. So the quality is definitely.
And I didn't mention, but the shape of the bottle was basically drawn by Vittorio Moretti itself. So he wanted to have some unique bottle. So. Think about 35 years ago, and this was a breakthrough in the wine world, because I was like, what is this bottle about? And it was actually him drawing the bottle.
Yeah, no, he's a true visionary. All of his estates. So speaking of other estates, time is slipping away, so let's switch gears here and head to Tuscany. So we're in Tuscany now, and if you look at the map here, we're in the southwest, so the green area there, kind of that little peninsula in the green, south of Ligury. Yeah, so south of Ligury. And we're heading to Petra. So tell us a bit about Petra. And this is one of the most beautiful estates in all of Italy, in my opinion. So I'm going to show some pictures as you talk, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, basically, Petra, it's is the result of Francesca Moretti's study. And she's very fond about Bordeaux, of course, but there's always this split into Bordeaux-oriented people and Burgundy-oriented people. So Francesca is very Bordeaux style, and she wanted to do an investment. She really believed that the little part of the world in Tuscany could express some good quality red wine. Okay, so we had sparkling white in the north, and Petra was the second to join the family group. Okay, it was mid of 90s, 1997 to be precise. Petra, it's overlooking Elba Island. So from the top of the stairs, you can, yeah, over there. So what you see really at the end is the Elba Island. And here as well, you have some amphitheater with the Metalliferous Io, the park, Montioni Park. It's again, it's full of clays, it's full of limestone, marine deposit, of course. And we have 35 hectares spreading around the estate, just in one plot. I don't know if you have a map that you can see, very easy to understand. Yeah, that's the one, exactly. So what is our approach here? So basically, the climate and the position, because as I said before, not much rain, a lot of sun, good wind coming from the seaside, is helping us with sustainable farming. It's very easy to do it here. So we are able to always increase the quality year by year. We try to train the vines to resist, you know, and we do the much that we can in the vines, in the vineyard. There is in the cellar a gravity system in order not to stress the juice at all. And we work depending on the wine that we have to produce. So, for example, Ebo, yeah, that's the gravity system. And then, so Ebo is the estate wine. So we go throughout the vineyards around Petra, and it's a blend of Cabernet, Merlot, and Sangiovese. Mm-hmm. And then apart from Ebo, we work with monovarietal and as well single vineyard wine. So Quercegobbe, it's only few plot of Merlot, and it's 100% exactly Merlot. Then we have Potenti, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, that is not in this picture. And then, of course, Petra, that is our Super Tuscan. And that is a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, 70%, and Merlot, 30%, but it's really a single vineyard. So we could write Vigna Petra on the label. Okay. And actually, probably we're going to do that soon. Zingari, instead, it's an outsider. We call it outsider because it's made with vineyards that are outside the state. So in total, we have more than 100 hectares, 35 around the winery, and then all the rest in different plots at different altitude as well. We can go up to 250 meters at Monte Bamboli, again overlooking the sea. What you can see behind is Montioni Park. So it's like a natural park. That's a fabulous area. And it's close to the village of Suvereto. So we are south of Bolgheri, but it's not really Maremma, because for us, Maremma, it's a little bit south, okay, around Grosseto area, Follonica, so a little bit south. This is Suvereto, the terroir in between Bolgheri, Suvereto, in between Bolgheri, Suvereto, and Maremma, deep Maremma, in a way, is very different. Okay, there are not many producers in this area. In total, we are 22. Among them, there is Tuarita, for example, that is super famous, getting 100 points, basically end of 90s already. So it's spreading the Suvereto style all around the world, but as well, Bulichella, Macchion de Lupi, Montepeloso. So together with them, we are really trying to promote our territory as much as possible. We're actually founded during COVID time, a kind of consortium that is called Suvereto Wine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's a new actor, because we wanted to do something different than Maremma or Costa Toscana. We wanted to express this really particular terroir. And if we talk about the soil, you know, and we do kind of a comparison with Bordeaux, the soil it's quite similar to Le Grave, okay? But then the style of wine and how we use the grape, it's more Medoc or Haute Medoc, right, because it's mainly Cabernet Sauvignon, but as well Merlot. There's always a blend of these two in order to get, you know, structure, but as well elegance, rounded taste from the Merlot. And what is interesting here, it's super interesting, is Cabernet Franc. Very tiny production. For example, we are cultivating 3 hectares up to Monte Bamboli Hill of Cabernet Franc, and we are seeing how the wine develops, because maybe we're going to produce soon a wine 100% Cabernet Franc.
Oh, that would be amazing. Cabernet Franc is, especially for wine geeks like me, we really love Cabernet Franc, especially from Tuscany. I really feel like it does well there. So
yeah, there's some beautiful expression of it. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, so that's the barrique. So the barrique place, the barrique room, and sometimes we use the center in order to make some party inside the winery. So some special events, some fine dining, you know, something like this.
Yeah, it looks really, really amazing there. It's the wines, you know, we've been working with them for several years, and the reception has just been amazing. You know, the full range is, the wines are just year after year very consistent, but also very specific to the terroir. So I'm excited to see, you know, the Cabernet Franc and what the future holds, because
yeah, we are monitoring it. Now we are you know, we put under the lens the vintage 19, so it's still in the wood. We're doing some tasting now and then. Actually, next Monday with the winemaker, we have one of these tests to see if it can still goes in wood, stays in wood for a little bit longer, or it can goes into the bottle. But it won't be out in the market until 2023, I think. Okay. At least. So, and it's gonna be made only in very super special vintage. So few hundred bottle, and that's it.
Okay, well, it gives us something to look forward to at least. So
good.
But I know we flew through that quickly, but you know, I definitely wanted to cover both, because you know, the Morettis are just, you know, so well respected for, you know, so many of their estates. I wanted to at least cover 2 today. So you know, Bellavista and Petra, both just stellar wineries, and I think just amazing examples of terroir within each. I think they're really the most iconic, in my opinion, of each region. Just very classic, but just amazing wines.
Thank you very much.
No, it's been great to work with you and you know, the Moretti family and the team there. So it's you know, it's a pleasure to have you. You know, maybe in the future we could have you know, Francesca join us in a future talk. That would be cool.
Sure, absolutely. We make that happen.
Because I know she took over the as the president of the company, right? Just last year, maybe.
Yes, correct. Basically, Vittorio Moretti. Well, the former structure was actually Francesca being the CEO and Vittorio Moretti the president. So 100% family-run company, you know. And then Vittorio Moretti decided to step back a little bit. You know, let the new generation, you know, to lead and take decision and to move forward. So Francesca became the president of Terra Moretti Vino, and we have a new CEO joining us in September. That is Massimo Tuzzi, who's been in the wine business for more than 20 years now. So we are changing a little bit the DNA of the company into a more management style one, but at the same time we are not losing, you know, the family touch and as well the family dynamic, of course.
Yeah, of course. Now it's
so
working for a family-run company. I can tell you it makes a difference when the family's involved and they keep that vision focused. You know. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, they are very focused on the quality of the juice. You know, for them, for them, no compromise about what you put in the bottle.
Right.
And then, of course, they leave to us to do the rest, marketing, sales, and that's it.
Yeah. No, it's,
Yeah, finance and so forth.
of course.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work, and hopefully we'll see you soon. I think we'll have to sign off for today, but for everyone joining us, thank you so much. We'll see you in 2 weeks for our next Instagram Live. Our next one will be June 3rd, and that'll be with Riccardo Arambari. He is the CEO of Matsu. They're an amazing estate within the Toro region of Spain. So we're going to be heading to Spain next. So again, thank you for everything. I'll bring my face back down to
Ciao.
here.
Okay.
Vitaliano, thank you again for all the information and for sharing the Moretti passion with us. Just gives us more fuel to go out there and share that quality and passion with everyone else. So,
my pleasure indeed. Thanks for your cooperation.
No,
and have a good day, everybody. Good weekend.
You too. Have a great night for you in Italy, but for everyone else, have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you in 2 weeks on June 3rd. Thank you, everyone. Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.